Story 1.
Am I the asshole for not telling my boyfriend I'm moving out after I found out he cheated? Sorry, this may be long. I, 42F, have been with my boyfriend, 33M, for 4 years, and we've lived together for 2 years. Our lease is up in a week and a half, and I've made the decision to move out after I found out that he cheated on me with his best friend. For context, his best friend, Tina, 34F, and him were roommates before him, and I got together and before we all decided to move in together. He and I were just friends for 8 years prior to committing. During our friendship phase, anytime she would call and needed him, he would drop whatever and make sure she was all right. I will admit Tina is not the brightest, and at 34 doesn't really know how to be an adult. She fixes everything with 2 to 3 different guys a week, and it's made easy because of her profession. Not shaming her, just stating facts. Over the years, I had some doubts about their relationship, but he always reassured me that they were just friends, and I trusted him. 2 months ago, I found out the truth. His behavior had been changing. He was distant, secretive, and I could just feel something was off. Yes, I went through his phone and saw the exchanges. I confronted him, and after some hesitation, he admitted that he slept with Tina. He said it was a one-time mistake, he regretted it, and begged for my forgiveness, claiming it didn't mean anything. The texts say different, especially since there were a few texts from the previous day. I went through his phone at like 3 a.m. He really wants me to stay and work things out, but I can't. I feel betrayed, stops, and humiliated. I'm also angry because he didn't just cheat. He cheated with someone who lived in our home, shared meals with me, had heart-to-hearts with me, and acted like a friend. They would reassure me about my insecurities about the closeness of their friendship. It's always the ones they tell you not to worry about. I've already decided I'm done. I've signed a lease for a new apartment, arranged movers, and plan to leave next week. I haven't told him yet, and I don't plan to until I'm gone. Since he goes to work before me, my plan is to pack and move all my things while he's at work. I'll leave a letter explaining my decision. This is where I may be the asshole. I know he can't afford this place or a new place without me. He's financially struggling, and without me, he's going to have a hard time finding somewhere else to live. But I'm not responsible for fixing his situation, especially after the betrayal. Some friends think I'm justified in not telling him, saying that he made his choices and now he has to face the consequences. My sister, however, thinks I'm being cruel by not at least giving him a heads up so he can make arrangements. I don't feel like he deserves my sympathy. He can have my middle finger though. Oh yeah, Tina doesn't live here anymore either. So, Reddit, AITA, for moving out without telling my cheating boyfriend, knowing he can't afford this place or a new place on his own.
I think she is not an asshole. What do you guys think? Comment below.
Story 2.
AITA for divorcing my wife after she cheated after her parents died? About a month ago, my wife's parents both died in a car crash. She has been an emotional mess. We live in her hometown, so we have been seeing her family and friends often. I've been supportive any way I can, I've taken care of all house chores, and I've been there for her every day. Here's where things get messy. She has an ex. Let's call him Luke. Luke is not just her ex. Luke is still friends with her and her first love. They were high school sweethearts, and Luke was almost like another child to her parents. The death of her parents affected Luke a lot too. Honestly, I didn't initially like the fact that they were friends, but I trust my wife and moved on from that feeling. Few days ago, my wife said she was going to go out with her family. I told her I could go with her, but she insisted on going alone. She didn't come back until the next morning. I tried to call her and call her family members, but no one knew where she was. When she did come back, she was a mess. I asked her where she was all night. She told me she fucked up so much. I tried to calm her down and told her to just tell what happened and that it's okay, she can talk to me. She said she slept with Luke. I didn't react much. I told her I need some time to think. She has apologized so many times now. I did eventually ask her what happened. She said she met up with Luke and they were both messes. They reminisced about her parents, which led to them remembering their relationship. They were both drinking, and it just happened. I'm so conflicted right now. My wife is probably going through the worst time in her life, but I don't think I want to be with her now. I'm furious at her.
I think he is not an asshole. What do you people think? Comment below. Story 3.
Am I the asshole for cheating on my wife who cheated on me 3 years ago? 3 years ago, my wife cheated on me on a one-night stand with some random stranger at a bar. What happened really hurt me a lot. but I chose to forgive her because she was really remorseful and took every possible step to reconciliation. I also recognized there were difficulties in our marriage, and I wasn't without fault. My wife did tell me during reconciliation that she would immediately forgive me if I chose to step out of the marriage, but I told her that was out of the question. It's been 3 years, and our marriage is going good. However, my childhood best friend passed away last month, which really shocked me, and I struggled with it a lot and couldn't come to terms with it. He also has a sister who I am close with, and it was obviously very tough for her too. We did date for a month in college, but I couldn't do it, and called it off because even though she was really pretty and nice, I always considered her more like my own sister. A week after the funeral, she invited me over to her house for drinks and dinner. I was unsure about it, but I did go to her house. We both cooked our favorite meals, where she cooked the entree and I cooked the main course and the dessert, and we were just talking about life and her brother. It was really emotional, and she was crying a lot. She shared with me some of the love letters she had written for me back in high school, where she really wanted to date me, but I didn't because I considered best friend sisters as off limits. We then watched Netflix and we were just cuddling on the couch. I don't know how it happened, but she started kissing me, and we had a really intense makeout session which lasted for a few hours. We were both exhausted after that, and we just slept on the couch. The next day, I did feel guilty, but I was also relieved because we did not have sex and I did not cross that boundary. I told my wife about everything that happened and she broke down in tears, but she said it was what she deserved for what she did 3 years ago. Was I the AH?
I think he is an asshole. What do you people think? Comment below. Story 4.
Am I the asshole for lying to my wife that I'd forgive her cheating? When me and my wife first started dating, we had a talk about cheating. I straight up lied and said, if this ever happens, I need to know straight away. If you tell me, and it only happens once, I think I could forgive you. Fast forward 5 years later, and we are married. A couple nights ago, she came up to me and asked if I remember our talk. I said, which one? We had a lot of talks like that. The then reminded me of the cheating talk and confessed she slept with a coworker at a recent company party. I was mortified. I packed my stuff and left. She begged me to stay. I couldn't. I needed to cool down. We talked yesterday, and she again reminded of our talk early on. I laughed and said that I never intended to forgive her, and I only said that at the time to make sure she confessed if it ever happened. I'm still planning on divorcing her. Nothing can change my mind about that. But my wife said what I did was manipulation. Was I the asshole for lying about forgiving her?
I think he is not an asshole. What do you people think? Comment below. Story 5.
Am I the asshole for telling my wife who cheated on me I will only reconcile if she tells everything to our daughter? My wife and I have been married for 16 years and together for 20. We have a daughter who's 15. Last month, my wife confessed to cheating on me in a one-night stand during a business trip. She was really remorseful about everything and promised every possible reconciliation step. But this was obviously a huge shock and heartbreak to me, and I needed time to think about it. I went back and forth a lot on whether I wanted to leave my wife. There was obviously a lot of tension in the house, and our daughter noticed it and asked questions, but we were just quiet about everything. However, after taking 3 weeks to think about it, I decided I wanted to make it work, given my wife would follow all the reconciliation steps. However, I also told my wife she had to tell our daughter what she did, and that our daughter deserved to know the truth. My daughter was really close with her, and my wife was really hesitant about it as she was worried this would damage their relationship. However, I told my wife given her moral failings, she had to do this as a test of her character, i.e. being truthful, if she wanted to stay in this relationship. After taking a couple of days to think about it, my wife told our daughter everything that happened. It hasn't affected their relationship too much, as far as I can notice, which makes me happy, but my daughter does seem a bit more reserved towards her mom. Was I the AH?
I think he is not an asshole. What do you people think? Comment below.
Subscribe for more interesting stories.